Yo, it's MartydudeVR, and today we're talking about Tiger Blade for the PSVR2. Shout out Big Sugar for sending me the key. I really appreciate you guys because I don't get a lot of PSVR2 keys. So I'm happy to get this one ahead of time so I can actually play it and review it. First things first, this game is nothing like I envisioned it being. This game is actually very surprising. It's a lot more arcadey than I thought it was going to be, which isn't bad. But before we get into all the gameplay and mechanics and stuff like that, let's actually talk about the setting and the story. In this game, you play a Korean action hero. The art style of the game is very neo-noir with a cinematic touch. As the MC, you have to slash and shoot your way through the streets, alleys, and marketplaces of Sewon, Korea. This is a story of betrayal. You are the most deadly assassin working for the Harangi chapter of the Tiger clans. You're ordered to steal a strange package in a heist, which turns out to be a tiger cub. Obtaining the thought extinct cub makes you a target for every game in the region, including your own. Based on my first playthrough, which took a little under 2 hours, I realized this game is essentially a really unforgiving arcade speedrunning game. I mean, this game is seriously tough, and you have to have crazy reflexes to finish some parts. It doesn't hold your hand at all, and that's honestly what I kind of like about it. This game gives a true challenge that many games on the PSVR2 or in general VR have not given me. There's no upgrading weapons, there's no assist features, it's just pure skill and reflexes. It's really reminiscent of Neon White, which is another speedrunning game if you guys have played that. What really caught me off guard was the way of traversing the game. Instead of moving an analog stick like regular video games, you actually have to slash your way through obstacles like doors or debris to move forward. To make large movements, you have to use the grappling hook on your left arm, which can be aimed with your left hand. You can also grapple certain objects and even hold enemies to get across gaps. Something else that was an insane game choice that I do respect is the way weapons are handled. You have two base weapons, a pistol and a katana. Both of these weapons are on the same hand and can be switched between at any time. With the katana, you can kill certain special enemies that get close or, destroy debris. The craziest mechanic of the katana is that you can deflect bullets with it. All the bullets the enemy may shoot won't be a bullet you need to block though. There are special red bullets that come to you that you have to block or dodge. I actually like that because blocking every bullet would obviously be impossible and actually gives you a somewhat decent chance of shooting enemies with your pistol. Blocking the bullets gets ridiculously hard as you progress through the game and feels downright impossible at certain points. It felt so unfair. There were plenty of times that I almost quit the game, not gonna lie. This game was a tough hour of playing this game. Thank God for the gracious checkpoint system because I might have not finished this game, to be honest with you. But that's a pure skill issue though. It's obvious they want you to play levels and speed run to get better times. You won't get the best time your first time playing, I'm telling you, because enemies spawn everywhere and there's no way you're gonna know where enemies are spawning at certain points in the map. The enemies in this game are pretty simple. All enemies have a number over their head that indicates how many hits it takes to actually, murderize them. Some enemies are bulletproof and can't be defeated with a pistol. On the flip side, some enemies can only be defeated with a pistol. It makes you very conscious of which weapon you're using because you could end up losing because you chose the wrong weapon for the situation. Speaking of losing, there is no health regen in this game, which is a crazy design choice, but really makes you value your health points. There were a bunch of times I had to save health just to give me cushion to fight through certain bosses or even just parts of the game. Moving on from the conversation of tough combat, we have to talk about the aesthetic of this game. If you've been watching my reviews at all on my channel, then you know that I love VR games with cool art styles. Tiger Blade oozes coolness and futuristic vibes. I love that it has an old school ninja movie cinematic feel with a fire K-hip-hop or K-pop soundtrack in the background. Not gonna lie guys, this may be the most unique soundtrack I've ever heard in a VR game. Here, listen to this. That music was fire, right? The aesthetic of Tiger Blade is just awesome and makes it a joy to play. It's also voiced in Korean, which is like really unique and awesome. I just like VR games with bad voice acting because it's just very jarring and takes you out of the experience. So hearing a different language with subtitles was very satisfying and added tons to the experience. Adding English voices honestly would have been very awkward with this type of Korean futuristic setting. Now that we went over a few things, let's talk about what I did not like about this game. The first thing that I didn't like about this game is the fact that the story is non-existent. Like, there's literally no presence of story in this game. I played through this 2-hour game and I really didn't care what was going on until pretty much almost the end. And even the end felt very rushed. I feel like they could have added challenge levels or speedrun levels to give the player more to do. This leads to my second dislike of this game, and that is the length of the game itself. This game is ridiculously short to be asking for $24.99 at launch. I literally beat it in under an hour and 50 minutes, and that's with taking a short phone call in the middle and dying a bunch of times to the enemies. This game should really lean into the speedrunning idea and add challenge levels and just get a player something to do. It's a shame because it is fun, but I could never recommend it at the full price compared to other things on the PSVR2 around the same price point. In conclusion, Tiger Blade does a lot right, but it does do a lot of things kind of wrong. Tiger Blade is a fun arcadey game with a lot of potential, but does not meet that potential as it stands right now. I do feel like this is a great and unique game to get on sale for the PSVR2, and I am looking forward to getting more levels, more content, and more just those vibes. And I have loved my experience so far. With that being said, I got more content coming from my PSVR2 guys later this week. It's gonna be a video about what I expect from Sony for the PSVR2 in 2024. Make sure you check that out. I know a lot of you guys are gonna have opinions about that, and I definitely want to hear what you guys think. Make sure to like and subscribe. It's been with MartydudeVR, and remember, I'm just a dude with a VR headset. Peace.